go. I do believe we're live, so I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. It really is a pleasure having you here again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to be present, for us to come into this moment and consider what being prepared looks like. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about being prepared. I've been preparing, in so many words as well, for changes, right? And as I prepare for these changes, the things I have prepared become apparent. You know what I mean? That when you spend a lot of time living, and I haven't spent that much time living yet, but when you spend a lot of time living, you end up doing things, right? Things get done. And every single thing you do in that way becomes a part of the things that you have prepared. And as I think about change as it relates to where it is I am, relatively speaking to the rest of the world, being prepared feels important. Like a bunch of different things in life. Being prepared looks like growing skills. Being prepared looks like trying to save money. Being prepared looks like making certain friends. Being prepared looks like moving from one place to another. Being prepared looks like hoping. Can look like hoping. You can be prepared for something you hope for. Right? There's a bunch of energy to being prepared that influence our lives. And the one that I'm really stuck on today specifically is this energy of I almost want to say prepared, but prepared as it relates to the futility thereof. You know? I see Pojo here. Bless you, bro. It's nice having you. Stay away from me. If you plan ahead, then things happen. If you plan ahead, when things happen, you're prepared, according to Hank Hill. Yes, I mean, I don't plan on having propane and propane-based accessories for sale. But it's true. It's so nice having you here too, Sam. Sending you and the little one Lovins. I've been thinking about you, friends. Being prepared. Being prepared as it relates to being a mother. All right? We can actually talk about Sam in that way a little bit. Be into this world, they moved. Right? They were living in one space. This space was close to the train lines. And Sam, being a light sleeper, was perturbed by the train noises. Even if she didn't realize that that was what's keeping her up sometimes, she was having her sleep be negatively affected by that. And in her knowing this about herself and not wanting that for her and her little one when they are going to be in the world together, if you will, you can actually talk about Sam. Oh, please no, start talking about Sam. Yes. Yes, get examplized. And because of that, Sam prepared. Sam and her beloved did what they had to do. They went through the process. They had the people that need to come and do inspections. They prepared. They prepared effectively. And because of all of that preparation, now that little one is in a space that's going to be better for his little well-being than he might have been if there was more noise in the environment and mom wasn't sleeping properly, etc., etc. Right? And in that way, uh, the other side, right? Thinking about it from Seth's perspective, right? The baby's perspective. There's not much that baby can do to be prepared. You know, like there's nothing that baby can do to be prepared. And in that way, we as a society take responsibility over this act of preparation, right? And there definitely is this balance, I feel, that is supposed to be had between the parents of the child. But then that balance shifts as time passes. And it goes from being a matter of preparation on the parent side to preparation on the child side, right? And I feel like that's also another layer of preparation we don't always consider when we think just about our own fractal, our own perspective on preparation in that way. I have a flock of robins hanging around my yard for the past 2 days. It's a rare occasion this far south. Weather patterns have been wonky this year, so a flock of robins came to visit. That's not so wholesome, Joe. You being Disney princess up there, bro. Bless you. Man, by the time we moved out of Monster House, we didn't have any hot water. We were flushing the toilet with a bucket of water, washing dishes with boiled water. It sucked. Yeah, that does not sound like a good place to be. It sounds like a worse place to be if you have to take care of a child as well, right? And in that way, you could have prepared yourself to suffer as well, Sam. Many people do. Many people prepare themselves to just get on with it, right? To they know, right? I'm preparing myself for having to wash my baby with water I boiled in the kettle or whatever, right? Not purely boiled water, of course, please, but putting the boiled water in the cold water so that there's medium water. You get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying. You could have prepared. You could have prepared to suffer like that. You could have prepared to not have flushing toilets. You could have prepared to not have all of those things. But instead, you prepared differently. All right. And because you did, your life and the life of the little one has been changed. Right. And again, it is this matter of preparedness, right? Because you can be prepared as much as you want to. You can even be prepared to suffer, knowing that you will, and still that suffering is going to affect you, is going to influence your ability to be a parent, right? Or at least your ability to be a good one. If you're constantly in a state of dissatisfaction with your environment, if you're struggling, if you're having a hard time getting along, then you're not going to be, at least in my personal opinion, the most compassionate and kind of parents, right? So, in that way, you preparing the good means that you get to be good too. At least that's the way I see it. Moving away from the train noise was like at the bottom of the list of reasons why we needed to get the fuck out of that place. Yeah, that would have been top of the list for me. Probably not. The flushing toilets one would probably have gotten to me as well. Yeah, these things that we have gotten past preparation, right? Like we as human beings don't really concern ourselves with the preparation of like warm water and toilets. Say that it is good that we don't have to be prepared in that way. However, when those things are not working, it's very hard to be prepared, right? Because we have grown past those preparations in a way. Sam, what the heck? You dipping water out of a pond or something? Nah, man, filling it out of the faucet and carrying it into the bathroom. It was labor just to pee. And I did that for the first 6 months of my pregnancy. Whew. Taking a deep breath with you. How about that, Sam? You know, first 6 months of your pregnancy, you are struggling like that. And now the baby is in this world with us. And you don't have to struggle in those ways anymore either. What a change! What a change these last 6 months have made. Bless you. May this help you prepare for even better things still. I'm glad that junk is in the past. How is the little nugget? Still screaming until his ears turn purple. Cycling between shrieking and being cute, Joe. I do still wonder if it tastes better with gravy or salad dressing, but I'm probably not going to do anything about it. Yeah, my mom was also a sufferer, if you will. Postpartum depression, right? And like she went to therapy and right, she couldn't understand why either. And here I am. I also remain uneaten. Healthy lungs, silver linings and such. At least he's cute. At least we do get those moments. Heard this take of having a baby is like having a dog that slowly learns how to talk. Is that true? Is that what you prepare? Is that what you were prepared for, Sam? I guess you do kind of have to get past the current cycle, if you will, that you're going through right now. The current cycle being it's a baby, right? And the only means that that baby has to communicate is through shrieking, is to communicate extreme displeasure by the making of noise. And the noise needs to be loud enough to be heard through walls. You have my sympathy. Babies bark before they talk. It's true. I ran before I walked, I was told. Apparently, I got taken to church and I went from being on the ground, crawling, to shimmying myself up against the pews, to getting onto the sideline of the pews where the hole was. And then I just started sprinting down that hole to the front of the church. Hello to you too, Wesley. Now, look at us back here again on another conversation, another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to prepare. Are you prepared? I sure do hope you are. Am I prepared? I like to think so. I like to think so. But I still do think I can prepare more. That's the big thing as well. That's the thing with preparation is that there's no getting done preparing technically. There set yourself at ease, right? Thinking about it from the perspective of like preparing to go on vacation or preparing to go on an adventure out of your home, right? The preparation can look like you packing your bags, you making sure your toothbrush is in the bag. But at least for me, when I'm in that state, I go through these feelings of, do I have the thing I need? Do I have everything I need? Am I prepared enough? What if I go there and I'm not prepared in this way? Right? And if I remain in that state, I probably won't even sleep. So there was, and there has to be, a willingness to let go, to prepare as much as I can, and then to stop. I wonder if there is something about that as a human being. You know, hey, it's starting to rain. Jeeps. Guess we're going back inside again. We'll take these. As soon as I learned how to walk, I was in the refrigerator. I was making grilled cheese at 5. I always liked food, apparently. I was doing the same things, bro. As soon as I knew how to cook, I started to. I remember even when I was like a 6-year old or a 7-year old, It was in that age range. My parents weren't home. Can't remember where they were, but it was just me and Rudo, my younger brother. I'm the eldest. It was just me and Rudo at home at that point. And then I basically took it upon myself to cook us something. And I did so. And then the thing I cooked was scrambled eggs. I know, not exactly that impressive, admittedly, but I was like 6. So how much can you expect? And then I made scrambled eggs for me and my brother. And then he proceeded to put ketchup on my scrambled eggs. And I remember, even as a 6-year-old, I was offended. I was like, how dare you? How dare you, you cretin? You absolute food heathen. I'm trying to get this thing all set up so it stays. There we go. So there's some light on my face coming from the outside. So yeah, prepared. I was not prepared in that moment to have my brother put ketchup on the scrambled eggs. No, sir. I feel pretty relaxed. I've been preparing today. It's also a part of today's stream topic. I was preparing. Spend some time learning how to do. There's a bunch of things that I'm going to have to do soon that I've never done before. At least with the software that I'm expected to do it with. And the only way in which I can feel like I'm prepared is by preparing. But the only way for me to really be prepared is to be there in the moment and to experiment and try the things that I'm going to be doing. So there is definitely a wait. Another animal wants to come inside. Occasionally, Jovan says, I think about how if I suddenly disappeared, how the quality of the evidence of my existence would measure up. And in that sense, I feel unprepared. I should tidy. Interesting thought experiment you're opening in my mind, Joe. If someone I loved disappeared and I saw their mess, if I saw their dirty dishes or their unwashed clothes, would that bother me? Or would it be another way for me to remember them? It's also on the eggs. That's where it's at. Jovan, so much love. It's always nice having you here. Jovan has this philosophy that she taught me as well when she was here in South Africa. It goes, wash more dishes than you dirty. And it's about reducing the amount of impact you have on others' lives, right? Trying to be as helpful as possible. I have lived in both sides of ketchup on eggs. It's pretty gross and offensive, but it's pretty good when the eggs are wonky. I can't take sides on this one, lol. So, this is kind of where I am coming from. In the sharing of the whole ketchup on eggs fractal earlier, is the fact that in that moment, he had put ketchup on the eggs before tasting it, right? It was like I give him scrambled eggs and toast, and then before even putting a fork to it, he had already put ketchup over the top of it and started mixing it in, and I was like, I'm actually washing dishes right now. Bless him. Thank you for making sure the dishes aren't dirtied. I'm actually washing. Bless. I know that salsa on eggs work, but yo, is there any way to make it so that it doesn't look like plated throw up? I think salsa unfortunately comes with chunks. That's kind of a part of the gig. You have to try South African ketchup though. It's different. It's so much better. It's true. Giovanna speaks truth. Hey Google, show me all gold. Old gold. All. ALL. Having some struggle. Tomato sauce. Oh my goodness, bro. Why you have gonna be in my way like this? Yeah. This is it. If you are ever so lucky to acquire a bottle of all gold, you see, up there it stands. The original all gold tomato sauce. Wonder if they put any. Yeah, but they put no colorants, no preservatives, no thickeners. They only put gang tomatoes in that stuff. Like a lot. I think something like this, like 36 average tomatoes per bottle or something like that. Let's see. They used to print it on the bottles, but I guess they stopped. Tomatoes per bottle. Yeah. Hey, yeah, 36. There it is. There's the number. Human 36. 36 tomatoes. Right there. Honestly, that was really weird. Another old gold commercial featuring kids cramming 36 tomatoes into the famous bottle. Launched successfully. Old gold wins gold. Old gold wins gold at the prestigious Manana. Yeah, it wins gold medals as well at tomato sauce competitions. But yeah, they put our bunch from tomatoes in them sauce, and it's good, right? It's what it's supposed to taste like. Yes, Sam, wrap it in a tortilla. That can help. Sam, nah, man. Always looks disgusting. Now I want a breakfast burrito. Don't let your dreams be dreams, bro. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just. You are pretty close. Hey, Tommy is here again. Hey, Tommy. What's up? Not much. I'm pretty chill. Having a good time. We're sitting inside again because it started raining. And every single time it starts raining out there, no, it's still dripping. I was gonna say every single time it stops raining, it stops as soon as I enter the building. But it's still kind of raining out there. It's a little bit raining. Oh my god. If I do it like this, now you're still kind of in my way of chat. It's a little bit like this. Why are you changing your sitting arrangement every day? Well, there is like a few factors that play a role in my decision making. You see, Tommy, the first one would be Wi-Fi proximity. The further away I get away from the Wi-Fi, the worse my signal integrity as it relates and as it reaches you. So just with that in mind, I try and be as close to this room as possible because Right there is the router, right? So that is connecting you to the internet. So I try and be close to that. Then I usually sit right outside. You might even be able to recognize there's that spiky, there's that wall. There are those vines growing behind me. I move inside, and here I am. A little bit less of an interesting background, but more dry. Why you adding? Why you adding psychology in every day? Because I'm bored. You know, I don't even know if that's a lie. Might be true. I think I might be extremely ADHD. You know, but it's almost like I use my ADHD like something I can surf. You know, like massive waves. And I'm like, yeah, let's stay entertained. My ADHD says. So with that in mind, I philosophize. And your video is displaying in portrait, not landslide. Yeah, in everything. I mean, maybe you're still asking about the philosophy thing. This one is so I do 2 streams a day. One of them I do like this because this one gets put in a different algorithm, and then one of them I do horizontally or landscape, as you said, landslide, as you said, and then I do one of those too. That's kind of how it started. If you go and look at my old streams on YouTube side, it was only one of those once a day. And then YouTube enabled slash integrated a vertical streaming thing where you literally get integrated as a live stream into the shorts windows, I believe. Right. So as you're scrolling shorts, suddenly you get a melt. You might have gotten a melt scrolling shorts right now. Most of you friends are the ones that are choosing here. I think they did kind of close that tab again, at least from what it looks like when it comes to viewership. I might have to stop. It's 6:30 in the morning here. Just woke up to study. You studying for some more? I remember you talking about, was it accounting? Is it accounting you said? Something with finances. Something with finances. Hope that you're feeling good about your exams, friend. Every day. Alrighty. Sam, rapid tortilla. Okay, damn. I got a breakfast burrito tricks. Eggs in the skillet. Throw the tortilla on top while it cooks, so the egg and the tortilla are now one. Those are some skills. I haven't done it like that. I like it. Very intelligent. Yep, accounting. Yeah. Accounting, bro. Accounting. Today's stream topic is about being prepared, you know? And I feel accounting is one of those being prepared kind of professions, don't you think? Okay, bye. Oh wait, cheers. Was fun. Damn it, now I have to make eggs and tomatoes and onions and mushrooms and basil. Oh, alas, you poor thing. What a hard life. I will come in 2 hours if you're still streaming. I'm probably not going to be streaming then, still. I might finish this one in like 15 or so minutes, and then we'll do a horizontal one for as long as I feel comfortable. But it would be nice seeing you, Tommy. If not, you should be able to find the live streams recorded on YouTube at MeltMore. Check you there too. So much work and complication in the morning. I just want my protein shake and some oatmeal. I haven't eaten oatmeal in a long time, but my mom has a cookie that's called a havermout cookie. And havermout is our Afrikaans word for oatmeal. So I've had oatmeal cookies Way more than I've had actual oatmeal just straight. I had a lot of oatmeal cookies yesterday, actually. An excessive amount. For some reason, if I don't decide, I'm gonna stop eating. I don't have to. You know what I mean? As in, if I don't make a conscious decision to be like, okay, I am now going to cease consuming calories, I just won't cease consuming calories. I'll just be like, oh, wait, again, and again, and again. Oatmeal cookies, they are good. They're technically some of my mom's favorites because they're so hearty. They're so food. They're so real. Mm-hmm. Uh, all the plants like come back outside, Melt. The rain man, we are hungry. So I usually make hard-boiled eggs before I go to sleep so I can make coffee and catch my protein in a hurry once the morning rush becomes a thing. I don't have a baby, but I definitely have a person who needs constant attention. Hard-boiled eggs save so much time. I used to do the same thing actually, Joe. When I was working in fabrication, I would also boil a bunch of eggs. And then when my like lunch break would come, I would like pop out a container. Why am I having a hard time with this word? I would pop out a lunch box. That's the word you use. Yes. We call it a kostblok, which is like directly translate for food tin. Yeah, my food tin. I take out my food tin. And then within my food tin, there would be just a bunch of eggs. Right? Hard boiled. And if I was lucky, I remember to sprinkle a bunch of salt just like on top of the shells and have it like lay in the corner of the tin. And I was so grateful for those eggs. I was so grateful. They were the best. And then I would like eat them as fast as possible. And then I would sit back and I would sleep for the remainder of my lunch break. You know what the worst part about that for me was? My feet. I had I had to wear safety boots because I was on site. Right? And there are heavy things being moved all the time. So I had to wear safety boots. And I hated them so much. Is that Hoopy? Hey, bro. Coming together again. Here we are. Here we are. I hated them so much. Okay. Once in a while, I'll do some hard-boiled eggs, but every day or even frequently, man, that sounds like torture. It's only torture uh, if you're not hungry. If you're hungry, it's like gratitude that you're eating. You're like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness I spent 8 minutes last night making myself hard-boiled eggs today. Thank you, myself. And again, it was a matter of like, it was almost like these depositable units. I had like 6 eggs in a thing, and then I would sit down and I would eat 6 eggs in a row, and then I would sleep. Because eating 6 eggs is relatively fast if you're doing it like it's a job. If you're doing it like you want to get it done, it's like, oh wait, these six eggs will now be consumed, and then you do, and then you still have like 55 minutes left of your lunch break that you can sleep. Right? Boom, free 55 minutes. of me getting to not be exhausted. Big love to the dream dude. Bless. I've bad eating habits lately. Me too. I tend to not get hungry until the first time I eat in the day, like mid-afternoon or so. Then I remain hungry until I sleep. Those are my eating habits. I love you, Joe. I feel you, right? I do. I don't know what to do about it either, other than to like not. I have to like give myself like a limit, right? And for me, it's especially the thing of eating until I sleep, as you said, because it's just this perpetual thing. And eating just before we sleep is not good for us. Makes us get fatter quicker as well, right? On top of the fact that it boosts, our inflammation. It's like so many bullshits. And yet, I do that stuff all the time. My mind is doing this thing, and that's basically the only thing I found works. Where I try and eat whole foods, right, and a lot of it, which like basically looks like eating enough protein and fats to the point where I just am not as hungry afterwards, right? It kind of like lasts me a little bit longer, but that's another eating habit as well, and it's not always easy to change those things. Jovan, you need food. Just saying. Also true. We do need to eat food. If Jovan wants to subsist on coffee and sarcasm, that's her business. Oatmeal cookies. I eat for sure. Just cream it all into I just cram it all into the evening. Wake up with heartburn. Yeah. For me, it's sluggishness. Right. If I eat uh, late at night, I wake up with this sense of not quite that bad, but that's the best I can communicate with my physical form. What it feels like on the inside is this, right? So it makes me want to lay in bed, being all a little bit longer. Where if I've not done that, and especially if I'm eating a keto diet, for example, as well, when I wake up, it's like maximum focus, right? I go from being asleep to now I'm awake, right? Like there's no, it's just like, whonk. I am now standing upright, moving through space and time again. But again, also so hard to maintain, right? Sugar is so very addictive, and it's always here, always whispering in my ears, always reminding me of where there is some of it. Remember that one time 15 seconds ago when you saw a piece of sugar on the counter? Stop it. No, stop it. I don't know if your friends are like that as well, where if there is junk food, anything that's highly processed, and I saw it, right, in my space, right, if the amount of resistance it takes is me getting up and getting it, I know about it, and it knows about me, and it reminds me of its existence, even when I try to forget about it, until I eat it, and then I don't have to think about it anymore. And I don't know if that is like literally the point of what the addiction cycle does when it comes to highly processed foods, but it's literally like that for me. Like the only way that I get to escape the turmoil of this thing existing close to me is to make it cease to exist, and then I get to be at peace again. All right. You know what I mean? Please tell me you understand what I mean. And in that way, I also help myself by just not bringing certain things into my home. All right, that helps me a lot. The healthiest I've ever been was in limiting the things I allow into my space, right? Knowing that I'm a sugar addict, I just try to not, get myself any of it. I'm trying to think about this year that had passed as well, right? If you had to tally what I spent the most money on as it relates to snacks, number one on that list would be blueberries. Number two on that list would be almonds. Number three on that list would be these pieces of peanut brittle, right? And every single time I got myself that peanut brittle, it would live rent free in the back of my mind, right? I would sometimes, uh, stop thinking about the blueberries, or I would sometimes stop thinking about the almonds. But there was a part of me that couldn't stop thinking about the peanut butter. And it was literally this fight I had to have with myself. Not fight necessarily, but this, let's call it internal struggle, right? I'd have to have with myself when walking past the peanut brittle, because it was literally positioned in a way where it was right at the end of the shopping journey. Very accessible. But it helped. I'm gonna see. I see Joe agreeing. I shall eat breakfast and cut back on nighttime snacks. I have a hard time eating breakfast, Joe. That's the other thing with me as well. Is like breakfast isn't always something that I desire first thing in the morning, right? And I know, or maybe I don't know, if that is the best thing for you potentially, right? You might not want to wait, right? Do some intermittent fasting. And this is me speaking generally to all of us. I seem to not get hungry first thing in the morning. But then by the time I do get hungry, there's also an acknowledgement that there is effort required. There is a pattern expected. There's something I have to do in order to get to not being hungry anymore. And if I, in that way, give myself foods that do not satisfy me, like really satisfy my hunger, then I stay hungry, right? And the only thing I find that really satisfy my hunger is, protein. So, like, it's good to know at the very least. Again, shall eat breakfast. I almost never eat breakfast. You too? How about that, Pocho? I make breakfast a lot, but my appetite doesn't fire up until I move around. Same. How about that? To not perpetuate, to perpetuate. Eating late is a terrible habit. I'm guilty of it, but I'm aware of the fact that it doesn't really help. Yeah. Look at us. Look at the three of us being similar in this regard. Hello again. Guten Tag to you, Sonia. It's nice having you. The healthy mind definitely creates a burden on my hedonistic tendencies. I like what I like when I like it, but my third eye scolds at me when I indulge. Very relatable, Pojo. And I see Jo, with her pointing upwards, relates to that as well. It is quite a journey, right? I like how we don't usually allow ourselves to talk about food. And don't think I forgot. No, no sirs and sirettes and sirzies. I did not forget. But today's topic, I feel, relates in some way, right? Because there is a preparedness that comes with this as well. And I think all of us have noticed that if we spend a little bit more time preparing to feed ourselves properly, we end up being less hungry. And properly with food that we know is good for us, we end up eating less of the stuff that we know is bad for us, right? And we're rarely eating the stuff that we know is bad for us because we want to eat what's bad for us. we usually just want to eat. And wanting to eat is not a bad thing, right? You are a person after all, and a person requires energy. And as such, it is good that you can eat anything. I feel like Mel would make such a good vampire. I'm not sure I want him to be satisfied. I do have them sharp teethies. And it's interesting that you say that, Dreamtooth. I think I might be a vampire. I might be. I might just be a vampire. But I think my body doesn't know it yet. I think my mind already knows it, but my body doesn't. Which to me means that I'm going to continue living, and technology is going to continue technologying, and then eventually there will be a convergence where I change things about the way my cells work, and then I will be functioning as a vampire is, right? Where their cells don't age because they died, right? I think my, right? Uh, we can do that. And then as soon as I do, technically, I think I can still eat food, which means I won't have to drink blood. Melt, I can't eat anything. You can't eat anything, Hoopy? I'm just imagining him saying like, because I drink blood. He is called Dreamtooth. That could definitely be a vampire name. Hello again. Melty, we always talk about food, lol. We always intend to refrain from the subject, but we are hungry. That's the thing. Maybe that is the thing, Joe. We're always gonna be hungry, right? We're always gonna be hungry. And in that way, we're always gonna be capable of talking about food. And because of that, I find myself being like, I don't know, resistant to it for some reason. Like I don't want it encroaching on my space, you know? Because I've definitely had quite the relationship with food. I think my relationship with food is better now than it's ever been. Interestingly enough, I think I definitely have gotten past some of my issues, at least to some extent. But there is always a but. I still do look forward to doing better. Right? I'm willing to acknowledge that where I am right now and my circumstances begets a certain fractal, right? Begets a certain experience that I cannot really go without or omit right now. I'm speaking in vague terms, but speaking in more clarity, you might be in a place right now where the choices you have in food or in general might not be the best. And just because you're making choices right now that might not be the best doesn't mean that those will be the choices you'll have to make for the rest of your life. And all that we can do right now for ourselves in this moment is reminding ourselves that we are slowly but surely trying to tend towards making better decisions for our lives. Right? And I appreciate your friends for doing that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to live forever. I'm on both sides of the fence about it, but I just keep living. But I just keep living, so I guess I'm just here forever. Yeah. Right? At no point can you remember a time at which you were not. Right? From your point of view, you've always existed. And from your point of view, you always have. And you always will. Because you haven't found any information that suggested contrary. That's why we don't really like thinking about death. But in that way, instead of thinking about death, I think about immortality. Right? At least cellular immortality. I do not think about living forever that much, you know. How about that? Forever, I think I already am. That's why. Right? The thing I am, consciousness, already lives forever, is forever, right? Unending in that way. So if this form dies, I just go straight back to being the forever I've always been. However, knowing that I am that, I want to become immortal as a body, right? And immortal just means that I do not just die because, right? If I'm gonna die, I should do some stupid shit. Or build something that explodes on the way forward or up. Or, you know, like maybe die in combat or something like that. But just dying because I've lived. Oh, I'm living for so long. Let me die. I don't know. There's something in me that wants to fight that. Dying just because? No. How about no? give me a reason. Oh, because we forgot how to sell. How about you stop forgetting? How about you stop forgetting? How about I'll sit you down and I'll show you how to sell correctly? No, but we don't understand human language. Then I'll speak your language. Talks to the computer so it can talk to the amino acids. Yes. Yes, computer, tell them. Tell them, computer, tell them to stop aging. Suddenly we stop aging. We just recently developed anti-cancer tech. I think some Japanese oaks. Let's see. Let me tell you about this. I think it's like still brand spanking new. Came out yesterday or something. Can you tell us about that? I think it's a Japanese team. Definitely a team in one of the Asian countries that recently found out how to turn a cancer cell back into the cell it used to be, effectively giving us a pathway of eradicating cancer. Huh? How about that? The way I said it sounds cool, right? Let's see what the actual data says. Yeah, December 2024. So that's last month. Two last months ago, the actual research was being done. So recent advancements in cancer research have unveiled promising strategies to combat the disease by reprogramming cancer cells back into their normal states. A notable breakthrough comes from a research team at Korea. There we go. Advanced Institute of Science and Technology in South Korea. Sorry, South Koreans, for giving the Japanese the credit. All of the credit goes back to you. In December 2024, they developed a ground by converting malignant cells into cells resembling normal colon tissue without the need to kill them, thereby minimizing side effects. This innovative approach introduces the concept of reversible cancer therapy, focusing on restoring the original state of cancer cells rather than eliminating them. Professor Hwan Hyun Chu, who led the research, emphasized the astonishing potential of this method, stating the fact that cancer cells can be converted back to normal cells is an astonishing phenomenon. Yeah, imagine you find that out about cancer cells. You can change some things about the chemistry of them, right? You can give them a signal. You can drink a pill that gives them a signal that they suddenly go, okay, bro, I'm just gonna turn back into what they used to be. Excuse me. Earlier in 2021, researchers at Hokkaido University in Japan, there we go, developed a hydrogel capable of converting cancer cells into cancer stem cells within 24 hours across 6 different types of human cancers. This discovery aimed to facilitate the development of anti-cancer stem cell drugs and personalized medications. These groundbreaking studies suggest a paradigm shift in cancer treatment, moving from traditional methods of eradication to strategies that reprogram cancer cells, potentially leading to a more effective and less harmful therapy and less harmful therapies in the future. How about that? We're curing cancer. We're actually curing cancer right now. That's right. Cancer is being cured. Professor Kwan Hyun Chu, who led the research, so he wasn't alone in the curings of cancers, but we're doing it. Right? Remember how we were talking about like someone is gonna cure cancer? Someone is curing cancer. It's happening right in front of our eyeballs. December 2024, 2 months ago. Right? And again, we're not talking about this stuff. Like, this is not the stuff that we're concerning ourselves with as it relates to how prepared we are for the future. Right? And I've been talking about immortality since the very first streams I've been doing. Right? Since Arpan days, immortality has been a main theme in these streams. And now, we live in the age where in December 2024, they are reversing, again, converting back to normal cancer cells. Like, and that happened, I'm like that, all right? I started streaming in 2021. And then in 2024, we started curing cancer. By 2030, cancer is no longer going to be like the cancer that is going to be the most novel kinds of cancer, right? Like the 1 in 1 million, 1 in 10 million cancers. And then we'll cure them too. And then after we've cured all cancer, we're going to go, isn't dying a kind of cancer? Isn't dying a kind of cancer? And then we're going to program those cells too. We're going to be like, nah. And then we won't. And I know I'm simplifying it to the point where it almost sounds silly, but to us as normal human beings, that's essentially what it's going to look like. You won't see the whirling machines. You can request to, I guess. You won't see the compute running electrons. You won't see the DNA being sequenced. You won't see all of that complexity, right? The complexity you will kind of like be interfacing with is going to be like, nah. Actually, I don't want to die. So I'm going to go and get some therapy. And then my cells will stop. It will just stop dying. It has. It has. It has. I guess so. It has a lot. It has a lot in store this future that we're looking forward to. I appreciate your friends for joining me. We've been here for an hour, going on like 20 seconds. I appreciate your friends for joining me for this moment. I'll read you a poem on this one, then I'll say goodbye, and then we'll start another one. How does that sound? This was yesterday's flower. Let me give you some zoom. Let me give you some. Love you, little cells. Super much. Love you, bro. Thank you for being a part of the soul that is all of us. It has about immortality. I've been missing it. You've been missing immortality? I think our whole species has become disillusioned. Right? All of us are dying just because we think we ought to. And there has been, weirdly enough, experiments done where if you're gonna die anyway, according to nature, your cells will start killing themselves before you get eaten. You know what I mean? Like that's how nature is programmed. For instance, a fly. A fly is food to many things. And as a result, the fly lives a very short life, relatively speaking. And in comparison, a tortoise or an elephant has very few predators. And there's very few things that try and kill it, so it lives a very long life, comparatively. Right? They have the same cells technically underlying, but the age, the frequency, the purity at which those cells replicate are different, right? The way in which they age are different. And I'm done dying. I'm done. I'm still, no more dying for me. I say no. Actually, no. Actually, I'm not gonna die. Poem, yeah. I don't think therapy is for dying cells. It will be in the future. Right? And in a way, if you do the therapy that helps your dying cells, the therapy that helps your mind, your dying self, will be better as well. Yes. Yes, so look at that. Yes. I show you psychedelic things. Your cells understand this information in a way that your brain doesn't. There is something powerful about the mandala. And I believe that they have healing effects. So be healed, little cells. No dying. I say no dying. Stay alive. Stay alive. Because hope is a vehicle. Hope is a vehicle. That was the example we made yesterday. Hope is not just a feeling. It is the vehicle that carries us forward, an engine humming beneath our ribs, a quiet promise written in motion. The road ahead will twist and fade, sometimes swallowed in fog, sometimes cracked and uneven. But hope is the thing that moves, the thing that refuses to break down even when the world around it does. Still, even the strongest machines need care, need fuel. Hope will not run forever on empty wishes and tired dreams. It needs the oil of kindness, the spark of belief, the steady hands of those who refuse to let the wheels rust. Some days it will soar, the wind warm, the horizon endless. Other days it will sputter, moving inch by inch, carried only by the weight of our will. But still, we must tend to it. Still, we must climb in and turn the key, knowing that movement, no matter how small, is still a journey. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 it's true. The vehicle of hope. Thinking about being prepared, right? If we're going to maintain the vehicle of hope, then it helps to be prepared. It helps to have an extra little bottle of oil on hand. It helps to have the tools that you need. It helps to have light if you're going to be working in the dark. All right. And preparing in these ways, we give ourselves a fighting chance. I appreciate your friends for joining me again. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.